I feel alien in this world. This will be a recurring theme in future videos, if there are any. My mind tells me one thing and reality says another, but I'm sharing this because I believe I'm not unique. So there must be others that feel this. And if not, then this is just a scream into the void which helps me regardless. I am not an expert in anything. My views and opinions are colored by my experiences and can be flawed, so if I'm wrong, I would love to hear your arguments. It is also important to note that I'll be talking about love in personal relationships rather than all-encompassing love, like loving people as a whole. Unconditional love, a concept foreign to existence, yet it is something I, and I hope others, yearn for. It is something I wish to receive and something I wish to be able to give one day. But we live in a world dictated by merit, qualification, and transaction. All the love in the world is either given to or by you because you or someone have something to offer, or because a person met the other's preset requirements and is dependent on people remaining in those set boundaries. A child loves their parents because they are its parents and vice versa. The child latches onto them for survival, and the hope is that the love will keep the parents interested in taking care of the child. This is mostly subconscious. You love your friends because they attract you by providing some value initially. And after that initial attraction, if they persistently provide value, interest grows into love. That value could be providing companionship, chasing away boredom and the like, till you grow attached. Same with romantic love, with the added aspect of physical attraction and physical intimacy. These examples are oversimplified, but they get my point across. All these are conditions that need to be met to receive the love. You don't love a child that's not yours. You distance yourself from a friend who is flaky or has changed from the person you knew. You stop loving your partner when their physical appearance changes or when they stop meeting your emotional needs. This might be blasphemous, but even God's love is somewhat conditional. His love is unconditional, but God acting on that love is dependent on the condition that you accept His love. So the love is there, but He won't force it on you. This is a very pure form of love, but from a certain perspective can be considered conditional. And you might be asking, what's wrong with that? If someone no longer provides value, should I not be free to cut them off? Or if they become a detriment to me, why should I keep them by my side? And to that, I say that you are completely right. However, I want an unconditional love. A love that stays even when your friend is being a pain to deal with. A love that stays even when the spouse is not fulfilling their marriage obligations, physical or emotional. A love that stays when your sibling becomes a drug addict and they harm you and everyone around you. A love that stays even when your friend becomes a death row criminal. Some of these examples are extra, but I mention them to get my point across. This is not me saying people should get a pass for bad and even criminal acts, and I'm not saying defend them either. There are consequences for actions, but one of them shouldn't be withdrawal of love. You should not stop loving your daughter, no matter how many times they fail to stay sober. You should not stop loving your husband after they are charged with homicide. You should not stop loving your friend because they are bigoted. You should not stop loving your partner because they are a cheater. Don't shield them from the consequences of their actions, but don't abandon them either. Help them be a better person. Better those you love and not love those who are better. This looks like helping with rehab, prison visits, interventions, and never abandonment until the bitter end. And I know what I'm talking about is hard, but I don't think love was ever meant to be easy. If you are able to abandon someone you never loved them, or maybe what I consider love, is much deeper than what we have in reality. What I want love to be is something that can never be withdrawn once given. If you can just take it back, then what you were giving them was never love, but a reward for correct behavior. And again, I understand that what I'm saying is challenging and nonsensical. And yes, you have the right to cut off people negatively impacting your life, but I don't think you can then call that love. From the very beginning, I don't think humanity ever had unconditional love, just tolerance dressed in roses. So yes, I feel like I don't belong here. because the thing I yearn to give and receive feels intangible. There are glimpses of it though. Parents adopting someone who is legally an adult, the parents are not biologically linked to the child, and the child's survival is not tied to the parents, therefore the love is pure. Friends who love each other despite their detriment to one another. Lovers who love each other despite the other losing their attractive qualities in the eyes of the other. These are few and far between though. It is also important to note that sometimes a relationship that starts out transactional can develop into something pure and real. I believe unconditional love can change a lot in this world. If you knew that someone loved you regardless of your actions, you would be free to be you. People wouldn't have to pretend to be what they are not to get into relationships and then later resent their partner for how repressed they feel. Children wouldn't need validation from strangers because they were loved as they were at home. Parents wouldn't feel resentful because they are loved and appreciated. This isn't me saying we need to be perfect to be loved, but that we should be loved despite the fact that we are imperfect. With unconditional love, all challenges met will be lighter because you know you are not alone. People will strive to better themselves because causing someone you love to suffer makes you suffer. With this reassurance of a secure love and the motivation from the love, very few societal issues can remain unchanged. In the end, I'm putting this out here to voice my frustration and hopefully people will hear my words and resonate. Hopefully people will hear this and strive to give this kind of love, a love that knows no bounds. If what I'm saying can only be achieved in my dreams, then I'd like to sleep every once in a while. Okay, so now that we are at the end of the video, I'd like to defend myself a little. I'm no philosopher and I'm hardly knowledgeable enough in anything to teach anyone anything. These are just the ramblings of the ignorant. These are thoughts and ideas colored by my personal experiences. I would love to hear where you disagree or agree with me because I like hearing people's perspectives. As long as I can tell it's genuine, I believe there is something to gain from discourse. So jump in the comments and share your thoughts. Given that this is technically my first video, there's probably going to be only 2 of you in the comments, but the bright side to that is that I'll be able to interact with all of the comments. All right, that's it for now. Peace.